Hello, West Ham Network. It's Holly, and I hope you're all having an amazing day, whatever you're up to. It is great to be back with you all. I missed you. And if you enjoy this video, please do drop us a comment and give it a thumbs up. Now, it is certainly looking to be a more exciting time in the transfer window for us with the addition of Kalvin Phillips. Today, we are going to be chatting about 5 things that the defensive midfielder brings to West Ham. So let's jump straight in. Up first, we have great passing. Now, this is something that we don't really see from Suchek. And if Phillips is to take his place in our current starting 11, it would add another side to our game, another very important side to our game, may I add. His passing is accurate, which if you've watched any of our recent games, you will notice that we are struggling with very much. Having someone in that position that can hold the ball up and help us retain possession would change things massively. Even in the game against Sheffield United, you could see how we really struggled to actually hold the ball. Luckily, they had the same problem and kept giving the ball back to us. So having Phillips could definitely help to fix this problem and mean that we can actually hold some of the ball for ourselves and pass it around amongst ourselves and distribute it nicely from the centre of the pitch. So that would be very, very exciting. Another side of Kalvin Phillips' game is his ability to just spray the ball out to the wings. We have struggled with build-up play and we've become pretty predictable at times in this area of the pitch, which is one of the reasons that we've struggled to break and we've struggled to play on the break, which was one of our strengths at one point. But Phillips loves to ping a ball, and if you watch highlights of his time at City, you will see that he loves to ping a really accurate long ball, long distance, straight to players' feet. Now, if we can get the runs going to get on the end of these balls, which I believe we can with the likes of Bowen, Kudus, Paqueta in the side, there's no reason we shouldn't be able to. This could be very fun to watch and again make us a lot more of a threat in the league, everywhere, all over the planet. Now, up third, Phillips is strong for his body size, which is something that we've actually got quite a few players that have the same kind of trait, including Paqueta and Kudus. They're not the biggest guys in the world, but they are very strong, and shoulder to shoulder, they tend to win a battle. In the Premier League, this is another thing that will definitely come particularly in handy because we know it's very physical. We want to stay on our feet. We want to make those chances. So that's definitely a good side of his game. And then he's a good egg. Kalvin Phillips is a good egg. He looks like a really good addition to any team, as well as being a really nice guy. Now, you only have to listen to a few of Pep Guardiola's comments about him to realise that he's got a great work ethic and he's very talented. He's simply not been the perfect fit for a very competitive City side where squad rotation hasn't favoured him. But this does happen to many different players that do go to City and don't end up being able to actually play. So in December, Pep said, "I feel so sorry for my decision for him. I've said it many times. He doesn't deserve what happened to him." It's very serious. The only thing I can say about him is I'm asking for good personalities and characters, and he is a perfect example. And after that, I have to give him something, and I didn't do that. It's just because I visualised some things, I visualised the team, and I struggled to see him. I'm not very pleased with myself, and I'm so sorry for him. I will not say that to him because it's a business, and I have to be a professional. Obviously, Pep giving himself a little slap on the wrist there for not being able to give Kalvin Phillips opportunities. Weirdly, he said he won't say it to him, but then said it in the media, which is basically the same thing. We all know he heard it in the end. But he also said today that he hopes that West Ham could offer Phillips the minutes that he deserves, adding he is an exceptional human being and a football player, otherwise he wouldn't be in the national team. So we can hear that he's speaking really, really highly of him in a team that does not take any nonsense. I'm pretty sure at City, the slightest bit of disrespect and he'll never play again. So the fact that Guardiola is obviously speaking very highly of him is very good. And it sounds as though whether he is or isn't playing, he's a team player and he does positively contribute to the dressing room, shall we say. And on top of this, there is, of course, the video I'm sure many of you have seen when Kalvin Phillips played at the London Stadium, speaking with a young disabled West Ham fan, which is another example of him just being a decent person. So hopefully this would add up to us benefiting from a player that works hard and encourages others to do the same. Basically, the more good team players at West Ham, the better. You can't have too many of them. And we have lost a few. We've lost a few leaders. We've lost a few that will sort of die on the pitch kind of thing. So hopefully Kalvin Phillips could be a really good one to just, I guess, up morale a little bit. And finally, we like Kalvin Phillips is a player that we've been interested in for a really long time. For anyone that can't remember, we had a £50 million bid rejected by Leeds 2 years ago for him. Moyes has tracked him for ages, and it sounds as though he does now fit into the plans that we have. As everyone behind the scenes seems, everyone behind the scenes seems keen to have him at West Ham. So Moyes could finally have his man. And he wanted him to partner Declan Rice, but now he could partner Alvarez, which is even better. Or he could even be a backup for Alvarez when he inevitably gets suspended for the number of yellow cards that he's picking up left, right, and centre. Also, the fact that we have been after him for a while and the fact that Moyes is obviously keen could mean that he is likely to start sooner and replace potentially the likes of Souček. So it's going to be interesting to see how he will fit into the team and how long it will take to introduce him, seeing as he is someone that it seems everybody is actually very keen to bring into the side. So as a first piece of business, let us know in the comments how we were feeling about Phillips. This might not have been one of our priority positions, but to stay on the right side of financial fair play, a loan seems a really sensible option, and it looks as though this could benefit us, particularly with the option to buy him at a later date. While it might not be the position that we were desperate to sign someone in, I think if we can afford it, when you get a good player that could positively impact your season and make a real difference, it would be a shame to miss out on him, just seeing as we're saying that positions like left wing are vital to get someone in. We should still be strengthening everywhere because, as we know, it only takes one injury and you're stuffed in that position as well. So the more the merrier, and hopefully we can keep getting players in so we can actually do more squad rotations. So that is all from me for today. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. Very exciting about Kalvin Phillips. Hopefully we can have a really good transfer window and continue to strengthen our side, especially in those positions where we are very short. AFCON and the injuries have certainly highlighted that it doesn't matter how well you're playing. You only need a couple of little changes and it can become very challenging, and your bench can become very full of youth players rather than having other options on the bench that you would probably want to be able to bring in all the time. So that's all. Anyway, have a great one. And until next time, come on, you Irons.